Hello, welcome to the new setup. You join me as I read, Entitled Mother got mad at the zoo because my brother refused to fake kidnap her.
Yeah, that went well.
It sounds juicy. Let's do it. Yes, it is as wild as the title sounds. Me and my boyfriend were at the zoo enjoying our day as we have some very rare sunshine in England. It is rare that the sun shines in England, but sometimes it does. It was packed with screaming kids, and we were standing at the lion cage, and there was a kid screaming because no one could see the lions, and the kids, I'm guessing, mother turned around and said to the child, if you don't stop crying, that scary bad man next to you is going to kidnap you and take you away, and you'll never see anyone you love again. I can see this post is already going to be very damning towards his parent, but I'm not a parent, but I know how horrific parenting can actually be, so using kidnap strategies might actually be... No, I don't think I can finish that sentence. It might be acceptable. No, it's not acceptable. It could be... Is it acceptable?
No.
I've heard stuff like that before in the past. I overheard this and started laughing because I was so confused. My boyfriend just ignored it. And then the woman tapped him and said, go on, tell her that you will take her away if she doesn't stop crying. Now that's a tough one. When my boyfriend said no, she got mad at us and said we're a selfish couple and it's clear that we don't have kids of our own, or else we would know what it's like and help her. She then proceeded to call us more names before grabbing the kid and storming off. What is wrong with some people, honestly? As if we would pretend to kidnap a child. Right, if it was me, I'll be very honest, I'd have played ball. I'd have kidnapped that child and ran away with it. I'd have grabbed hold of that child, put him under my arm like a rugby ball, and I'd have run towards the tiger and capture. Feed him to the tigers! And just keep running and hide around the corner and just wait for the mum to come panicking. I'd wait 5 minutes, I'd wait 10 minutes. I might even wait 20 minutes. Just to see what happened until the fear of God comes over this woman and she stops trying to get people to simulate kidnapping. I do know, though, that parents go through... it's like, you know the scene in The Office, the US Office, when, and... Shit, what's the fucking names? Do 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 boop 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 boop.
I don't think any of them actually know my real name.
What's the fucking Pam and fuck! What's the couple? Jim! Of course it's Jim, you idiot. It's like when Pam and Jim take an extra few days for their holiday and they come back and everyone had to work through it and they're all like, oh God, we're so angry at you. But as soon as the children arrive, they suddenly realize the pain that is having small children who won't shut up and they need kidnapping. So I completely understand how the mother was just trying to do this, but getting somebody else involved and trying to get them to simulate kidnapping, yeah, that might be a bit too far. And then grabbing their kids and storming off and calling them names. Obviously, they're just a terrible parent. Yeah, I said it. While working with retail, I had a mother tell her child that if they don't behave, I was going to call the police and have the kids taken away. I told the kid I would do no such thing and she got pissed at me. This stuff happens all the time. If you don't behave, they're going to call the police and have the kid taken away. I've heard this a lot. I really feel like the mad tea party person probably shouldn't get involved. Is it okay to say that? That's the question. Let me know. Is it all right to say kind of wild, fabricated things to your child just to help maintain them? There's probably better ways to bring your kid up, right? I've heard this stuff many times. If you don't put that back on the shelf, the man will take you away. Yeah, I've heard this stuff a lot. It's obviously something you'd only say to a very young child. Does it affect them? Are they gonna grow up scared of being kidnapped? I don't know how it works. I really don't know. It's probably not the best thing to do, but completely understand why people will be trying to do this because kids are very annoying, apart from your own. No, all kids are annoying. Years ago, I was sitting in a park and I saw a woman drive to a police station, yank her maybe 7-year-old kid out of the car, drag him by the arm to the front door and yell at him, but if he doesn't start behaving, she will leave them there because they're naughty boys. One of the worst displays of parenting I ever witnessed. Is it terrible parenting? No, it is. It is. It definitely is. No. Listen, just be a real parent, all right? Get an iPad, just sit him in front of the fucking iPad and watch that thing about the pig. What's it called? Something pig? Peppa Pig?
Does anybody know what numbers are for? 2 + 2 is 4.
You know, like Shan from TikTok, who sounds like Peppa Pig. The kid who was bawling his eyes out the whole time, so clearly not in any state to take in a lesson, and she's really teaching him, is to mistrust authority figures. Is that what you're being taught? I don't think that's what you're being taught. To mistrust authority figures, that's taking it to a whole new level. Responded to an unruly behavior call figure. It was another teenager not wanting to listen. Teenagers and fighting with parents. Nope, it was a 5-year-old child. Oh, this person's police officer. Nope, it was a 5-year-old child who refused to finish her carrots. There's no way they called the police. Refused to finish her carrots. So mom told her she'd call the police and have us arrested, and the kid would be put in jail and take away her toys until she learned to behave, as is illegal for kids to not finish their carrots. After giving mom the look of utter disgust, I told the young girl that it would never happen and that they would never get in trouble with the police. I feel like I'd be really angry at the woman, and I'd give her a caution. I'd say, if this happens again, we're gonna fine you, and there's a chance of something going on your permanent record. Because everyone's scared of the words permanent and record. I don't know why, but they are. I'd say that, but I'd also go along with it and say, listen, child, if you don't eat those carrots, I, as a police officer, will lock you away in prison for a very long time, and you will be forced to eat 74 carrots every day. I'd do it. I'd play along. I'd do it. I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not, but I'd play along. I then told them they were excused from the table and to go play. The mum turned towards me and started to say something, but I cut her off, telling her that what her child did wasn't illegal, but was what she did was. You felt that you had to tell the mum that it's not illegal for her child to not eat carrots, misusing the 911 system to scare her child. I'm not telling lies to your child just because you're a shit parent. Fuck off. God. I'd go along with the kidnapping. I really would. I'd play ball. That make me terrible? Or is that just because I'm really old? I'm from the age of giving your kid a clip around the ear isn't the end of the world. Whereas in this day and age, that is just the biggest red flag possible. The amount of times my dad just was like, shut up, hit me around the back of the head. He was lovely. He was the most loving man alive. Took me around the world, taught me everything. He was brilliant. Yeah, he wouldn't be adverse to that if I was being a little shit, and I was a little shit. Oh, I was a little shit. I was terrible. If I ever have children, I just pray that they never, ever act like me as a child. Maybe that's why I was a tearaway child, because he would clip me around the ear and he didn't give me the American bringing up of everyone needs therapy all the time. I don't know. This is not where I expected this to go. Questioning my own upbringing. I've never murdered anyone that I can recollect, so I turned out all right. I'm 6'5". What the fuck has that got to do with it? I'm 6'5" with long hair, and I drive a motorcycle daily, so I wear a leather jacket, and I was carrying my helmet. Wow, this guy's basically just saying he's such a tough guy. I was in the line of the grocery store, having popped in for a few items on my way home. A bitchy-looking woman, this guy already hates women, was in line in front of me with 2 small children. The kids wanted some candy from those last-minute impulse buy shelves they force you to walk by. The mum was being quite rough with them and telling them no. Finally, she grabbed each one of them by the shoulder. The shoulder! And spun them around to face me, saying that if they didn't start behaving that instant, the scary-looking bike was going to take them away forever. Both kids stared up at me in abject terror. I replied them with the idea sounding like fun, and we could all go for a ride on my motorcycle. Then I pantomimed, twisting the throttle, and made a rum-rum sound. It shouldn't be a rum-rum. It should be a brum-brum, so I already don't like this guy. Both kids faces. The kids had kids? There was a mum with kids and kids? The kids had kids? Both kids' faces went from horror to excitement in an instant. Mum's face went in the opposite direction. She pulled her kids protectively close to her and said there was no way her kids would be going with me. I just smirked. She finished checking out, and as she turned to leave, she shot me one last dirty look from her terribly bitchy face. I suggested she try parenting her child in some manner other than idle threats involving strangers. People are so judgmental. Holy shit, the internet's so judgmental. As they walked away, I heard both kids ask when they were gonna get a motorcycle ride. I'm 6'5" with long hair, and I drive a motorcycle. When I volunteered as a police officer, I heard parents saying the police will take you away if you don't behave, stop being naughty, and stop crying, etc. I did actually have to say a few times, don't ever tell them that, as if they ever get lost but saw the police, they would be, that's a good point. That's a very good point from particularly Crafty. They shouldn't be scared of the police. When you're a child, you should see the child as like that glowing light that you should run towards for help. In times of need and danger. That's very true. But also, they should see it as if they've been bad, they'll be in trouble. Who the hell volunteers as a police officer as well? Which is exactly what happened to me. My mum made me sit on the front porch with a bag packed for the cops to come pick me up and take me to jail or back to foster care. Oh, back to foster care? That's tough. That's some seriously harsh parenting. I hate the fact that I'm giving my opinions on parenting, given that I can't even take care of myself, never mind somebody else, another human being. But here we are. The internet. She didn't call them, obviously, but she had me sit in the cold for a really long time. Oh no, not the cold. I got lost in a strange neighborhood. Why? You were just sat there. And a cop had to try find my parents, and I was hysterical because I thought I was going to jail or back to foster care. I would never see my parents again. The cop kept trying to reassure me, but I just remember feeling terrified. I mean, that is kind of a tough thing to go to. Oh, maybe I should never have kids. Yeah. Maybe I should just be that uncle. I already have like a little nephew kid, and I'm already like buying them drum kits and electric guitars just so they make as much noise. And the life for my cousin is just terrible. That's what I'm going for, to make his life miserable by buying the child lots of loud things all the time. I feel like that's a duty and that's what I'm supposed to do. And if they ever fall over or stub their toe ever, I'll laugh at them and tell them to stop crying. I'd be a great parent. Should have looked at the kid and told them that their mum was the big scary meanie, not your boyfriend. Parents are wild sometimes. As a teacher, I hear that you don't have kids so you don't understand things so often, even though I work with their kids more than they seem them half of the time. Use a boogeyman or something. Oh yeah, use horror. I love that they've gone from don't use normal life things, use something like horror to terrify them. You know what? In my garden, I found some kid threw a Huggy Wuggy toy. And if you watch horror stuff, you know what Huggy Wuggy is. Fuck off! And it's terrifying. So some child is walking around with this little horror figure with his wavy arms everywhere, throwing it over. I'm not surprised children are so scared these days. Use a boogeyman or something, not another human right next to them. I mean, I think that's pretty bad. Do not get out of bed again and run downstairs. It's 8 o'clock. You're going to bed. If you leave, Huggy Wuggy will come along and eat you with his massive teeth. Stay in school, kids, and don't do drugs.